How's it going, everybody? It's Pilot Fan. We are back with another FPL live stream here on Twitch, as we do all of our live streams for FPL here on Twitch. We usually post the vlogs over on YouTube as we normally do. But if you want to catch us live, come over here on Twitch. It's fantastic. We get to see all the kind of live reactions of things happening. And we saw some live reactions of things today. Arsenal getting a much-needed win for themselves to keep themselves in the top four over Chelsea. Salah getting 2 goals and an assist in an Anfield thrashing yesterday. Even Smith Rowe getting himself a goal, only for Saka to cancel it out and give me a red arrow, as well as the Newcastle clean sheet. But we'll go through all of those things and how the week is going currently, because I still have 2 players going tomorrow in the Burnley and Southampton game. So we'll see who those 2 players are. We'll take a look at future transfers. And I'm also going to do the watch list, but I'm going to do it for the rest of the season. These are going to be players that you potentially want on a wild card, a free hit, where you should be looking at for the rest of the season. And we're just going to exclude some teams from that, because some teams you just don't want players from because of they don't have any doubles, or they have a blank, or whatever it may be. And we'll go through our predictions as we normally do. Make sure to like, subscribe, favorite, comment, all that good stuff on all the platforms. PilotFlame226. Make sure to check them all out. But before we do that, let's talk about Fantasy Football Scout. So, Fantasy Football Scout is a fantastic members area. We're going to see some of those tables on the deadline stream as we normally do. But they have a bunch of different exclusive members articles. They have a members video pretty much every week with Mark Southerns, the creator of Fantasy Football Scout. You have the Rate My Team tool, the season ticker, all that stuff bundled into one exclusive members area. So check the link in the about section if you're here on Twitch, or check it in the description below if you're over on YouTube. It's a fantastic tool to help elevate your FPL game. It certainly helped me this season for sure. But without further ado, let's see how the team is doing this week. So, asterisks all across the board because the game week has not finished yet. But I'm currently sitting on 63 points, which I thought was going to be good. Turns out it's not. Before Saka scored that late penalty to seal the game for Arsenal, and before Newcastle had their clean sheet, I was actually on a green arrow. I was at around like 3K after subs, or before subs, or whatever it was. And it was looking good. It was looking real good. But unfortunately, Saka scores a penalty. Would have really liked Mendy to save it, even though he was on my bench. That would have been hilarious. But I don't know Saka. And Saka's around 100% effective ownership because a lot of people captained him this week too. So yeah, we got kind of roasted on that one. And the Newcastle clean sheet also hurt. I think we lost 1,200 places alone just because Saka scored. And then he also nicked the bonus point off of Smith Rowe, who had scored, which I was delighted about. Smith Rowe did have another chance to score as well. And Cancelo getting himself a clean sheet today, which was quite nice. White and Ramsdale, again, didn't expect too much from them again versus Chelsea. Bruno Fernandes was probably the disappointment. Should have went with my gut, to be honest, which was Salah. Just Salah. It's just Salah. Every week, Salah. Just go with Salah. Just captain Salah. What can go wrong? We're chasing all these crazy pointos, and then Salah comes and gets 2 goals and assists. Now, there was a Bruno this week that did that too, but Salah did it in just the one game. So yeah, even Weghorst would have been a better option this week. But yeah, and then the 2 players that we did bring in, Adams hasn't played. Could play tomorrow. I hope he doesn't play at all, because that means we get Dennis's 8 points off the bench, and that would be a very, very useful jam to bring on. And then hopefully Weghorst goes crazy. But yeah, Madison only the 3 points, didn't play much, only 30 minutes in the first game, only got the 2 points in the second game. And Adams hasn't played yet, so in the first game, and still has yet to play a second fixture tomorrow, so we'll see how that goes. But I wanted to do the preview because it's only just the one fixture. The likelihood is I'm probably still going to be on a red arrow of some kind. Probably be inside the top 5K though, probably, but it's not ideal, basically. Not ideal. If Adams comes on, if Adams doesn't play and we get Dennis points off the bench and Weghorst gets a brace or something like that, then maybe we might not be on a red arrow. But more than likely, we're going to be on a small, anywhere from a medium to small red arrow tomorrow of some kind. Fingers crossed, though. Let's run through the team real quick. So Ramsdale with the 3. Again, didn't expect too much from him. Ben White, 4.5 million, not going to get, 1 point in each game, basically. Not ideal. Robertson, 6, about right. Cancelo, 6 points, seems good. Smith Rowe, getting himself a goal. Yeah, starting tonight was actually a good thing because he was creating like him and Odegaard were basically just running the game. Saka basically did hardly anything for the most part all night. He did kind of give the ball to Odegaard but the pass from Odegaard was kind of what made it happen. Playing a proper striker actually helped because it allowed Odegaard and Smith Rowe to run the show rather than using Lacazette as an outlet to give it to them. Just let them run the show. And just having Nketiah, who's quick and can actually do something up top, unlike Lacazette, who just sits there and looks like he's panting after 10 minutes. And just looks like he just can't be bothered most of the time. Makes Arsenal a better team. If they play Nketiah versus us, probably be an interesting battle. We don't have any quick center backs, apparently, because Eric Bailly doesn't exist. And Varane's injured. So that's going to be interesting on Saturday. Bruno Fernandes, disappointing captaincy. Again, Mo Salah. I try to go with the double game weeker, but this week, if I'm not captaining like Mason Mount or Reece James, which I can't get both of them, I'm gonna captain Salah again to Everton. It's the only thing I could do, really. I'm not gonna captain a United player. It's not happening. Kulusevski, even though I do, United's my team, and it's not gonna happen. So yeah, Kulusevski, just the 2 points. Half expected. At the end of the day, Spurs blanking. That was a good start to the week, which is quite nice. And then Madison, just 3 points, disappointing. Vekhorst getting himself a goal. I thought FPL lied when I saw that. And Adams not playing isn't ideal. And Dennis on the bench. Literally brought in Adams to bench Dennis, and Dennis goes ahead and gets 8 points. So, a bit of annoying. How is my game week rank 3.41 million and your overall rank 5,156. So your game week rank is the rank that you get specifically for the points you earned for this 1 week. So currently, if literally this game week was only played, if we had to rank all the players for this 1 game week, I would be 3.4 million in the world, or thereabouts, right? I don't know the exact number. 3,412,983rd is where I'd be in the world as it stands, for rank wise. But overall, the overall rank this hasn't updated as of yet. That's ranking me among these amount of players for this 1 game week. My overall rank is based on the number of games that we've done game weeks that we've done up to this far. So my total number of points. I started late this season? No, I didn't. I started at the beginning of the season. This is just a ranking that you get every game week. So like I'll show you as an example. So like this week, in game week 1 I scored 110 points. So you can see here. So my game week rank was my overall rank because it was the first game week of the season. I was ranked 55,419th. Right? And you get a game week rank every week. You can see here. So like this game week, I was 2.268 million. This one I was 5.3 million, which was a terrible week. And you can see I got a red arrow. So typically the higher game week rank you have, like the bigger the number, the worse it is probably more likely. And there's some game weeks where I did really well. So this game week, I was 35,000th in the world for that game week. And I went up to 259th in the world. So your overall rank is your rank as it stands across the whole season. Your game week rank is it just ranks you among all the players for your amount of points you have for this 1 week. So let's say as an example, the most amount of points that was scored this week was 100 points, right? Let's say that the person out of all the FPL players that scored the most points was 100. And I got 99. I'd be like second or somewhere around there out of the players. If there's 100 players in FPL and the top player scores 100 points and I get 99, my game week rank would be second. But if I had scored 0 points the last bazillion game weeks, my rank would probably be last, right? So it's just based on the 1 week. So you can have a bad game week rank for 1 week. But that doesn't mean I drop all the way down there for that, in that 1 week. That's not how it works. Gameweek rank just ranks you for the total number of points you have this week, but over the whole season, you accumulate points and you go up and down or wherever you go. So like as an example, my Gameweek rank of 3.412 million has seen me go from 3,546 to, well, it hasn't updated fully yet, but it's going to be around 5,000 in the world. So I've lost 1.5k places. That's how the Gameweek rank works. It's not really, it's just a stat that I just put up there, but the overall rank is what really matters, and the points that you get. That's pretty much the ones you want to take into consideration, because your overall points determine your overall rank. That's it, really. And your week-on-week points is what matters too. Yeah, hopefully that was a good enough explanation. Also, Al Harby 9998, thank you for the follow while we are offline. Now, let's go into the predictions. Where is my tweet? There it is. So, these are the games here. So we're going to go through all the games and see how we did prediction-wise. We do these predictions every week. If you get the exact score right, you get 3 points. If you get the result right, you get 1 point. And if you get nothing else, you get 0 points. So like in terms of the Brighton and Spurs game, I predicted Spurs to win. They didn't. So I get no points for that, which is unfortunate. United, I predicted them to win 1-0. They won 3-2. Close enough, so we still get the 1 point. I thought Arsenal would beat Southampton. They didn't. They lost. So we don't get any points for that. Brentford almost won 2-0. They won 2-1, so I still get just the 1 point for that. Newcastle versus Leicester. Bruno Guimaraes' late goal saw Newcastle win that 2-1, so we didn't get that one right either. West Ham and Burnley, a 1-1 draw, so we got that one wrong as well. So our predictions weren't great. Liverpool, I predicted 2-0 over Man United. They won 4-0. Not surprising there, to be honest. So we get the 1 point. Chelsea versus Arsenal. Chelsea scored 2. It's just Arsenal scored 4. So we got that one wrong. Leicester 1-1 with Everton. Couldn't get the win there. We predicted a 2-1. Unfortunate there. Same with Palace. Palace disappointing. Didn't wipe away that Newcastle clean sheet, which is unfortunate. So we got that one wrong too. City almost won 2-0 over Brighton, but Bernardo Silva's late goal saw them with a comfortable 3-0 win. So we get the 1 point there. So we got 1, 2, 3. Only just the 4 points because we haven't got the Burnley-Southampton result as of yet. Southampton have kept a clean sheet. De Gea was rubbish. Walker-Peters, I believe, kept a clean sheet in the Southampton game. I believe he did. I'm not entirely sure. Let me actually check. Kyle Walker-Peters, did you keep a clean sheet? You did versus Arsenal. Okay, fantastic. So he's definitely in there. James Ward-Prowse is still a question mark. We don't know, but Chris Wood was a blank. So we got two out of the 5 differential picks so far. One's a question mark, and 2 are wrong, or didn't pan out basically. So yeah, we still have the Burnley versus Southampton fixture still to go. But obviously the big surprise of the week was Arsenal. Here, that's a terrible arrow. Whatever. But yeah, Arsenal versus Chelsea. Did not expect Arsenal to score 4 goals versus Chelsea. And they're playing United next. Yay! So that's not gonna be ideal. But yeah, just the 4 points. We haven't been doing great. We've gotten 4, 4, and 3 points in the last several weeks, and we've had double game weeks too, which makes it look even worse, to be honest, because you have more games to choose from. I haven't got an exact score right in a long time, actually, which is shows the randomness of the end of the season, I guess, or the difficulty of predicting at the end of the season. Let's move on to the predictions for this week. So let's move over to the games for this week. We shall put up the notepad. So we got Arsenal versus Manchester United. We got Leicester versus Aston Villa. So this is a double game week as well. Manchester United and Chelsea getting that double because Chelsea won in the FA Cup over Crystal Palace. Quite, you would say, comfortably in the end. Liverpool will meet them in the final as well. And that'll be actually the second time they've clashed this season in a cup final. Obviously, the Carabao Cup. We remember Kepa missing his penalty. So, yeah, it should be an interesting battle. Most of the fixtures this week are on the weekend, just the two outside of it. Because we do have European competition to be played. City will be involved in that, as will West Ham, as will Leicester, and as will Liverpool. So, we have all of our fixtures there. And we'll also go through our clean sheets, our goalkeeper pick, our defender pick, our midfielder pick, and our forward pick. As differential one-offs for the week. So, I do my predictions over on fantasyfootballcommunity.com. And I've done them already, but those will be posted, I want to say, not tomorrow. I think they're going to be posted on Thursday. But you'll see, I'll retweet it over on Twitter, so make sure to follow us over on Twitter for that. And you'll get the link for it as well. So, first game out the gate, Arsenal versus Manchester United. I predicted 2-1. The games are usually fairly close between United and Arsenal. But I don't see United winning. Arsenal are at home as well. So they have that as an advantage. Or disadvantage, if you want to call it, because United are better away from home, which is kind of weird. But yeah, I'm with Arsenal 2-1. Don't feel great about it, but I just think they're going to win. Leicester versus Villa. Aston Villa haven't been great recently, but Leicester seem to just randomly concede. I think maybe being at home might help them. So I went with a 2-1 in favor of Leicester. I think that they can still play, their full strength team, even having played today. Wednesday, Saturday, Thursday is fine for rotation. If they really want to rotate, maybe take off Maddison and Barnes in like the 70th minute mark, just to mix it up a little bit. Yeah, that's what I would go with for that one. Man City versus Watford, 3-0. I mean, could be more. I think Man City were up like 5-0 the last time they played. And it was they scored like 5 in the first like 20 minutes or something stupid. 20-25 minutes. It was really, really crazy. Norwich versus Newcastle. Newcastle should be quite comfortable in this one. And before Steve Bruce's departure, you would have thought Newcastle probably wouldn't have been going down, but it really, really been turned around. Unfortunately for Steve Bruce, he's been proven that he's not the greatest manager. And anyhow, has gotten the best out of the players. The new ownership's come in as well. They've brought in Bruno Guimaraes and a couple others, which have galvanized the team. And I think they're going to win again. Getting another win tonight versus Palace as well. Brentford versus Spurs. This actually was a close one to call. I ended up going with a 2-1. I think it's going to be close. I think Brentford would definitely give Spurs a game. They can potentially try to replicate what Brighton did as like kind of a blueprint to cut off the passing lanes to the likes of Harry Kane. Can they do it in the same effective way as Brighton did? I don't know, because Brighton are a good enough team to do that. Maybe Brentford's not really, that might not be necessarily their style. They're more of a high energy press sort of team, whereas Brighton were happy to sit off a little bit and just cut the passing lanes. So we'll have to see on that one. But I think Spurs will definitely just edge it, especially if they know that Arsenal just beat like United earlier on in the day. So they'll definitely want to win. Then Brighton versus Southampton. Speaking of Brighton, this one was close to call. I think I'm just going with a 1-1. Two teams that can play quite well on the day. I just think Brighton is a really, really weird team. They'll go on like a couple of good games where they beat teams that they shouldn't, and they'll lose or draw to teams that they shouldn't. So like they beat Arsenal and Spurs, you would probably have not made them favorites in that game or those games, and then they go and like have bad results with games where they really control the ball, really play sumptuous football, and then they just don't end up scoring enough goals to win, basically. So I've gone with the draw. Burnley versus Wolves. I've gone with the same score. I've gone with a 1-1. I think Burnley will potentially nick a point off Wolves. Maybe they'll have the home crowd behind them. Will help them out a bit here. I think they really need a win, to be honest, because they know that Everton are going to almost certainly lose to Liverpool. If Burnley were to win tomorrow versus Southampton, which is still in Gameweek 33, and then they win versus Wolves and Everton were to lose to Liverpool, they would have a nice points gap in between themselves and the relegation zone, which would be very, very good for Burnley. Be the first time they've been out of it in a long time. Although sacking Sean Dyche was a bit of a weird one. Not really sure about that. Because I think you're still going to be in the same situation with or without him, to be honest. Chelsea versus West Ham. I think Chelsea get back to their winning ways, to be honest. Obviously not knowing the result tonight, it was when I made this prediction. But I think West Ham are just a team that are more or less focused on Europe. Chelsea can probably cruise control this one. So I think they'll end up winning this one. I'm going to go with a comfortable Chelsea 2-0 win. Usually when Chelsea lose, they bounce back and get a result almost immediately. Unless it's against like City or something like that, where they can be obviously 50-50. Liverpool versus Everton. Again, pretty straightforward this one. Everton will be happy that they got a point versus Leicester, but you ain't getting anything versus your Merseyside rivals. I'm going with a 3-0. Crystal Palace Leeds. This was a bit of a tricky one, to be honest, because I think Leeds have been playing well. I think Palace, play well at Selhurst Park as well. I didn't expect Palace to lose to Newcastle, but I think Leeds are much more open than Newcastle, who have been much more solid recently. So I give Palace the edge here. I think both teams are going to score, though. I'm going to go with 2-1. And then lastly, United versus Chelsea. I don't really think that Chelsea have anything to play for, but I think they'll still win. I'm going to go with Chelsea to win 2-1. I don't see United winning either of these games versus Arsenal or Chelsea. United proved me wrong, to be honest, because you didn't show me anything versus Liverpool. You didn't show me anything versus Norwich, even though you won. That was literally just Ronaldo and De Gea. De Gea making good saves, and Ronaldo scoring. Yes, De Gea is still questions with the ball at his feet, although there were times where he could have passed it to certain players who showed or signaled basically that they didn't want the ball, which is interesting. But there are times this season where nobody shows for the ball for De Gea, and then he has to ultimately kick it out. So part of it is on De Gea, yes, but also part of it's on the players around him. And then Ronaldo's just Ronaldo. He's just doing the thing. People saying that Ronaldo has had a bad season. Take out penalties, and Ronaldo has a better goals to minutes ratio than Salah. So, that, just saying. But again, penalties are part of it. I understand that. But Ronaldo's only 5 goals behind Salah. Well, at least he was before Salah scored 2 versus United. Yeah, you never know. You never know. Salah probably ultimately ended up winning the Golden Boot, but for Ronaldo to be third in it, tied with Jota, who's having an amazing season, at 37, it's crazy. Clean sheet this week. I'm gonna try to go with no double game weekers to make it interesting. I'm gonna go with who's gonna get a clean sheet this week. It's gotta be Man City, innit? Really? Man City or Newcastle? Let's go with Newcastle. Because they play Norwich. Goalkeeper this week. I'm curious to know how owned Dubravka is after a lot of managers did potentially bring him in. I think if you still have him, I think you definitely play him this week too. So let's go with Dubravka. 3.1% owned. Solid pick. What can I say? In defense, let's look at the fixtures again. Let's see. Who am I gonna go with? Potentially let's look for a defender with a potential attacking return, maybe. I don't know. I really don't know. You know what I'm gonna go with? I'm actually gonna go with somebody who he came on today. 5.3 million. 0.07% owned. It looked like Nathan Ake went off injured for sure. John Stones might have gone off injured as well. I'm going to go with Zinchenko. Maybe he comes back in. He gets the rotation because City have to play Real Madrid after this game in a few days' time, and maybe Pep, rotates him, and gives him a little bit of game time. Let me actually make the notepad a little bit. Oops. There we go. A little bit bigger. Even though it does cover up stuff a little bit more, but it is what it is. Let's see. Midfield. Who are we going to go for midfield? Midfield, I think you could potentially go for somebody who could be a bit of a flight risk later on. So I think if you're going for a big shebang before you wildcard, I think you could go for somebody like a Raheem Sterling. So let's go with Sterling. 2.4% owned, didn't play at all. And Pep could just rotate his team completely because he knows that he doesn't have to get out of second gear to beat Watford. Brighton was obviously a much more difficult team. So I'm going to go with Sterling as a kind of a offbeat pick versus Watford. And then the forward line. It's Timo Werner. 8.6 million. He's done really well last few games. Got himself 2 goals and assists. Got himself a goal tonight. I believe he got himself an assist or a goal and assist or something like that versus Palace. Like, he's basically gotten goal involvements in every game for the last 4 games. So he's been doing quite well. So yeah, Timo Werner, 8.6 million, 2.3% owned. Could be on the wildcards because honestly, the forwards have been terrible recently. And it seems like when Werner plays with somebody that he is like a strike partner, like a Havertz or a Lukaku, he plays really well. Like, Lukaku didn't play particularly well, but Werner did. It's just that kind of system. And if you just have Mount in behind them, it allows for them to flourish. Because he was causing havoc all night for Arsenal, even though Arsenal ended up scoring 4. But if you look at Arsenal's 4 goals, first goal comes off a mistake from Christensen. Second goal, basically, if they just drag down Xhaka before he gets away, that goal never happens because they literally go the length of the pitch and they could have stripped the ball off him in and around the box multiple times had Chelsea made the correct tackle. Third goal is multiple defensive mistakes, and the fourth goal, I just don't know what Azpilicueta is doing. To be honest, he has no clue what he's doing, and gives away a penalty. So all preventable goals, to be honest, from Chelsea, like easily preventable goals. So yeah, that's going to be our clean sheet and differential picks. So I'll post those later because we have lots to discuss. So let me move the notepad off the screen here. And I moved that off the screen as well. So this is the team as it currently stands. Now, there was no Antonio Rudiger in the squad tonight, so that is a bit concerning. We did see him kind of have an injury in the game versus Crystal Palace in the semi-final of the FA Cup. And then he's not in the squad. So I'm not sure if that's because he's out longer term or if they just wanted to give him a full rest. I'm not sure. So he could be a bit of a flight risk, but he's in the team at the moment. So the team is Mendy in goal with the double. Rudiger in defense with the double as well. Robertson and Cancelo. Very nice home fixtures there. Smith Rowe, who I'm considering just keeping now because it seems like he's doing quite well. Bruno Fernandes with the double, who I'm not captaining this week. It's not going to happen. I'm not captaining him no matter what. Salah, who does have the armband against a very poor Everton team at the moment. Kulusevski versus Brentford. You got Madison in there, Adams and Weghorst with Ramsdale, Dennis, and Aitnuri and Ben White all on the bench. So Smith Rowe is currently a flight risk because he could potentially be rotated. Maybe that's, what what Arteta's thinking. Maybe he goes for someone who's more direct, like a Martinelli versus United. We'll have to see. I think Smith Rowe's performance proved that he should start again. To be honest, I think he should basically run out the same team, in my opinion. I don't think there was any need to change it. I mean, defensively, maybe you could change some stuff around, but that's just because you conceded 2 goals. But at the end of the day, is United really going to create those sorts of chances? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? Werner's goal was somewhat fortuitous, even though he played really well. And the second goal was a good delivery into the box, which we know that United can't do on a regular basis. So we'll have to wait and see. And also, it looks like Pogba's out injured. That's another player that United don't have. So it's really going to be interesting to see what United play versus Chelsea as well. Because if they play at the back 5 nonsense again, then that's just not going to go well. So that's the team currently as it stands. Let's go through before we talk about like transfers and stuff, because we have about 25 minutes before I want to log off here. I have to do it slightly shorter today. Let's go through all the teams here and see what players we're gonna include on this watch list. So this is gonna be a watch list for players that potentially could be you might want to transfer in, or could be of use on a free hit or a wild card. So Ramsdale, personally, I would not go there. Unless you're going with like a Schmeichel Ramsdale combo on a bench boosted wildcard. That's the only way I would go for them. Arsenal defenders, wouldn't touch them. I would not touch them at all unless Tierney's back, and he's probably not going to be back, so I wouldn't touch them. Saka, yes, for sure, definitely should be on the watch list. Smith Rowe, I think, should be on the watch list as well. Because I think he could potentially take Martinelli's spot, but we'll put both of them on there because they could do some wonky things with them. And then maybe Eddie Nketiah. If Lacazette falls out of favor, double Leeds at home, Spurs away. 5.4 million. We've been looking for strikers. He could be one of them. So let's throw him in there. Aston Villa, definitely crucial. I think there's only really 4 players I would go for. Potentially Martinez as just a goalkeeper. Maybe he's a bit too expensive, but we'll throw him in there. Matty Cash is another one. Very good attacking fullback. And I believe they played the requisite number of fixtures now. And he's gotten 8 yellow cards, so I don't think he's going to get suspended. And then you have the 2 main guys. You got Coutinho, who's currently on my watch list, and Ollie Watkins, who will add to the watch list as well. And that's just because they have back-to-back doubles, which is quite nice. And they also have Norwich in 35. So if you're wildcarding in 35, you can have Norwich at home, double. The only caveat is on the last day of the season, they have Man City away, which isn't ideal. But Gerrard would love to stop Man City from winning the league. Brentford, I don't think you can include any of the players from Brentford on the watch list just because they don't have a double. Yes, maybe Tony, but not really looking there. Brighton, no. They had a double this week, but I don't think you're going there. Burnley, no. I don't think you're going there either. Chelsea, definitely. I think Edouard Mendy is an option because he's obviously the most nailed on goalkeeper. Do we have too many players on the watch list is the real question here. I don't know how many I'm allowed to have, to be honest. Let's remove some players here. So Reguilon, remove Cucurella, remove Trippier, Digne. Get out of here. Son, I think you can keep him, but I'll talk about that when I get there. Mane, I think is just too expensive, potentially. De Bruyne, we'll keep him on there. Madison, yes. Gallagher, no. Not yet, at least. Sterling, no. Just trying to free up the space. Foden, yeah, maybe. Ramsey, no. Cornet, nope. Alanga, no. Diaz, maybe. 7.9 could be nice. Kane, we'll talk about Kane when I get to him. Ronaldo, no. As much as I like Ronaldo. Watkins, we just put him on there. Broya, no. Weghorst, definitely not. So that'll free up some space on the watch list. I don't know how many I'm allowed to have on the watch list, but just in case. So yeah, Mendy, Reece James, definitely should be on the watch list for sure. Whether he's playing a right center back or right wing back. Alonso, only left back that they really have, so or left wing back that they have. Rudiger should be on there as well. Then you have the likes of Mason Mount. I think should be on there as well. Kai Havertz, if he's playing through the middle, looks to be a good option. And then Timo Werner at 8.6 million. Another good forward that we could potentially go for. Now, Crystal Palace, you only go for them for their double in 37. But the only player that I would realistically go for in terms of the, that's going to be potentially attacking all the time is going to be the likes of Zaha, realistically, right? It's going to be Wilfried Zaha. So I'll put him on there. The strikers, you can't go near them. Gallagher, yes, maybe, but I'm not too sure. I mean, he might get suspended I'm not sure how many games that they played total, but I think Zaha is the one, right? He is the one. Gallagher's will still be a wait and see. Everton, there's literally only one, and it's Gordon, just because he's cheap. That's it. Everyone else is a no-go. Leeds, a definite no-go. Leicester, Schmeichel should be #1 priority for a goalkeeper because he makes saves, can save penalties, has 2 back-to-back doubles against very, very easy opposition, in my opinion. So he should be on there. Other Leicester players, the only ones I would go for would be Barnes or Maddison, and it's if they are like available, basically, as it were. Maybe I'll put Iheanacho on there just because, but I wouldn't have as much hope for him. Liverpool, the obvious. Basically, you got. Trent should be on there. Van Dijk. Robertson. Salah. That's just obvious. I think Jota and Diaz is probably not... You can't go there anymore. I don't think. I think you have to go 2 defenders. Unless one of them gets injured. But at the current stage, I think it could be too much of a rotation there. I mean, they could just all be good, to be honest. But I think it has to be 2 defenders than Salah, I think. Or 3 defenders. That's another option as well. Man City, I think you can go Ederson. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think you go Alisson too, but probably not as much. Cancelo, that's a no-brainer. Laporte, Diaz, with potentially Stones and Ake out. We'll see on Zinchenko. We'll have to wait and see on that. De Bruyne's there. Foden's there. The only other one I would say is probably Mahrez, but that's still a bit iffy. Everyone else wouldn't go near. Newcastle, no. Yes, they have a good fixture this coming week. I believe they play Norwich in 34. But then after that, they play like City and Liverpool. It's not ideal. Norwich, there's only literally one player, and that's Timo Pukki. Just because he's a good bench boost enabler in the front line. Southampton, no, wouldn't go there. Spurs, there's only one player that I would probably have in my team, and that would be Kulusevski. And the main reason is because if you want a bench boost or wild card, you're only going to want one of Son or Kane. I think so you basically would have Kulusevski plus one of Son or Kane. I think you probably go... it's tough. The home fixtures are easier fixtures in my opinion. I think Leicester, Arsenal, Burnley are easier than Norwich, Liverpool, Brentford. I think Brentford's a more difficult game than Leicester for sure, especially since it's away. Arsenal at home is traditionally nice for Kane as well. But I guess we'll put him on the list here. I'm probably not going to be able to get any other of them because I'm going to be bench boosting. So I just have to hope that Spurs just don't kill me too much, basically. But those would be the only ones. Maybe a bench boost enabler of like Ben Davies, but I still don't think that's great. I think you probably just go big at the back instead. Watford, maybe Ben Foster as a bench boost enabler, but I'm not going to be going there, I don't think. And then the forward line, probably just Dennis. He just looks the most threatening. I wouldn't go Josh King. I wouldn't go João Pedro either, to be honest, unless you need the funds. But yeah, I'd say Dennis is probably their only guy who can create something out of nothing. West Ham, no, and Wolves, no. So, if we actually look at the watch list in total, we got, 4 goalkeepers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 defenders, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 midfielders, and 4 strikers. I think Richarlison is potentially another one you could put on here, maybe. Yeah, let's put Richarlison on there. Just because I know he did score tonight and he is on penalties, so... although he is very hit and miss. So we'll put him on there. So yeah, if we go to the watch list, Ederson, Mendy, Schmeichel, Martinez. Oh, it got to a... Oh, there's 2 pages, that's why. I was wondering. So yeah, so from the goalkeepers, we got Ederson, Mendy, Schmeichel, Martinez. We'll actually just sort it by... oh, I can't sort the watches by goalkeepers. That's unfortunate. And Foster. Forwards, we got Richarlison, Iheanacho, Werner, Nketiah, Kane, Pukki, Dennis, and Watkins. Midfielders, we got a boatload of them. Mostly Chelsea, Leicester, Man City, Arsenal, Spurs. So we got Salah, Son, Saka, De Bruyne, Mount, Madison, Mahrez, Smith Rowe, Foden, Zaha, Barnes, Havertz, Diaz, Coutinho, Kulusevski. You could put Jota in here too, I guess. Martinelli and Gordon. And then defenders, we got Trent, Cancelo, Van Dijk, Robertson, Laporte, Rudiger, Diaz, Cash, James, and Alonso. And you notice with the defenders, they're all expensive. So that's kind of what we're gearing towards, and we can show you how we're going to do that and play around with that for the next 10 minutes or so. So I have the FPL.team here. So this is a fantastic website, and this is how my team is. It's pretty much mirrored. Is it exactly mirrored? It's literally exact. That the team that I have in FPL currently set up. So this is going to be pretty much my plans. This week doesn't really matter what I do, but I'll just, let's go for something like this. It was something that I was trying to see if I can consider. So if I went to, let's say I went Weghorst down to Gelhardt as an example. And then brought in, instead of Ben White, I can go to Reece James if Rudiger's fit. That would be for -4. I would play Reece James over Gelhardt. And then Smith Rowe would then play as well, because I think he deserves to start, to be honest. I think he deserves to start. And I think he should. Can Arsenal play that system again? Of course they can. Maybe they showed how successful it was. If they think United's going to play a back 3 versus them, which they shouldn't. But I think they could easily do it with a back 4 as well. I don't see any reason why you couldn't. If you just played Xhaka and Lokonga next to each other or something like that, you should be fine. With Smith Rowe, Odegaard, Saka, and Nketiah. I don't see any reason why that wouldn't be, feasible. So that's something I can do. Also, what I can do is, instead of getting rid of one of my forwards, I can downgrade Smith Rowe which would mean I would lose value on him, 0.4 to be exact. To Alanga, who has a double game week, but it again is potential flight risk, and I would get rid of Madison and could bring in Mason Mount, who potentially could be the captain. Yeah, that's basically what it would boil down to there. As for the wild card itself, now I have a bench boost, so I'm going to design this around playing a bench boost. So, wild card. I'm curious to see what type of team I can build without Salah in it. So let's try that first. So, if I went Ben White to Van Dijk, Ait-Nouri to Alexander-Arnold, Salah would go to, let's say, I'll just put Coutinho for now. Weghorst can go up to the likes of a Watkins. Adams can go down to a Pukki. We'd have Dennis as our potential third striker. Or maybe instead of Dennis, we go Werner, and Werner's our forward. Can we do that? Let's see. Mendy would be our keeper. Mount we'd have to get rid of. So let's say we got rid of Mount. I'm just going to put Dewsbury Hall just because it frees up money. It makes the thing happy. Instead of Rudiger, we went Reece James. Bruno Fernandes would get dropped down. We would go for a Chelsea midfielder in this case. So let's say we do go for... or we wouldn't even go for Mason Mount because we have Mendy in goal if we wanted to. So let's keep that as is. So Bruno, let's say, goes to a... Maybe we can fit Son in. And we can. Kulusevski. Can we put him to... I mean, we could go like... We can just keep Kulusevski and go Alanga to maybe a Gordon as an example. Just for now. Maybe instead of Mendy, we go to Schmeichel, and we just have two. We have Ramsdale and Schmeichel as our two bench boostable like goalkeepers. Instead of Gordon, we can go to... We can go up to... I mean, we can go back to Smith Rowe if we wanted to, realistically. With the cheaper strikers, could we get Kane? Maybe? Well, we need an extra 1 million in there, so probably not. Let's say we go for... Can we fit Saka in? Because that would be good if we could. The way we would do that is we would downgrade Ramsdale to like a Foster. We could see what that would look like. That might not be too bad. I mean, I have 0.1 million in the bank, which is, you know, so the money is tight. And that's because I haven't sold Cancelo. If I had sold Cancelo, it'd be over. And we can play Foster versus Burnley, maybe, if we wanted to. Who would we play this week, though? Well, we're playing all of our defenders. We're not playing Dewsbury Hall. Werner away to Everton. I think we have to get him in there. Do I play Kulusevski at home to Leicester? I think I do. I think West Ham's probably going to be a bit trickier. Werner away to Everton. I think Everton are going to leave a lot of space. Maybe it's a hedge my bets type of thing. Play Saka versus West Ham and bench Kulusevski. Maybe that's kind of the benching headache that we have here. Maybe that's what we go with. This does open up another Chelsea, though, for us. If we wanted to. So we only have 2 Chelsea at the moment. What happens if, instead of Van Dijk, we went Alonso, and then we upgraded. Can we go Kulusevski to Jota or Diaz? We'd be just short. Or instead of Saka, it'd be Saka we could get rid of. Saka to Jota would be just short. Just short. Let's just roll with it. Instead of Pookie, I know that we can do Dennis. How do I have too many from Chelsea? Oh, it says I have Werner twice. Okay, so let me change him to... Let's put him back to... Or is it him back to... There we go. Okay, so Dennis is back there. This would be Werner. Dennis will be there, so we've corrected the situation. There we go. So yeah, we would play... I'd still want to play Alonso, though. So we'd still have a bit of a problem. Alonso away to Everton. Maybe we just put Alonso first sub. Still got Reece James in there versus Everton. Unless there's some inkling that maybe Jota's going to be on the bench or something like that. Maybe that's what we go for that week. This team wouldn't have Salah in it, though, but it still does have an attacking threat in Jota. Still looks pretty good, to be honest. The captain for this week would probably be... If we knew Jota was going to start... Does Liverpool, maybe some early team news? Maybe go for Jota, maybe go for Trent. Who knows? For some reason, I can't put the vice captaincy on Trent. For some reason, I can't vice captain anyone. Anyway. Regardless. Then it's the bench boost week. I'm not sure where the vice captaincy thing, it just disappeared. I don't know why. And then we'd go for a bench boost. The bench boost realistically would be Foster. Dennis would be on there. We'd definitely play Alonso. So who's the weakest out of all of these? Probably Watkins. And then if realistically we didn't want Coutinho, like we wanted to do a bit of a hokey cokey, we could put Maddison in there. And then get Coutinho back for the double versus Crystal Palace and Burnley. Maybe that's something we could do. With Salah, it's probably a bit more normal. So it would be Mendy. I'll just do the wild card games to make it easier to see off the bat. So this would be Alexander-Arnold. We would go double Liverpool like that. Cancelo, I think you go Laporte. I think you go Reece James. Actually, maybe instead of Laporte, you go Alonso. But we'll keep Laporte in there. Mendy, I think you can go. This would be Schmeichel. I would go a little bit more heavier in goal, to be honest. Bruno would get downgraded to, let's say, Osaka, if we can go there. Smith Rowe would go to Dewsbury Hall. Weghorst would go to Pookie. Adams would go to Watkins. Kulusevski, we'll see if we can get him to Coutinho. Saka would then have to go down to, let's say, Martinelli. If we wanted to do that. So yeah, that would be more. So the bench boost would be more like, so Dewsbury Hall would be on the bench. We'd have Laporte would play over Pukki, I would think. Yeah, so our bench would be more like Schmeichel, Dewsbury Hall, Dennis, and Pukki. And we captain Salah, obviously, in this one. But yeah, just some things to play around. We'll probably play around with a little bit more on the deadline stream as well. And we'll also talk about it in the video on Friday as well. So make sure you stay tuned for that as well. But yeah, this team currently as it stands, we've got Mendy, Antonio Rudiger, Robertson, Cancelo, Smith Rowe, Fernandez, Salah with the captaincy currently, Kulusevski, Madison, Adams, Weghorst, Ramsdale, Dennis, Aitnery, White. Those 4 are on the bench. But yeah, before we sign off, let's talk about Fantasy Football Scout one more time. So, Fantasy Football Scout has a fantastic members area. We're going to show that over on the deadline stream on Saturday, so make sure to come tune in for that. The links are in all the platforms, Pilot Flame 226 everywhere. Make sure to check out the link, and you can get the preseason discount if you sign up during the preseason. You get 20% off, which is quite nice. And it's going to give you all the same stuff as you would as if you got it in the middle of the season as well. So, the Rate My Team tool, season ticker, heat maps, all that good stuff, comparison tools, anything you need to help elevate your FPL game. Now, let's move over to the big screen. So, that's going to do it for the double game week preview for Game Week 34. Is it Timo time? Is he going to be coming in on my wild card? I might hit the wild card this week. I'm trying to see if I can do it next week, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Maybe as I get close to bedtime deadline, and maybe I'll get an itchy finger. Maybe. But yeah, make sure to like, favorite, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, and we'll see you on Friday with the lineup preview video. So make sure to tune in for that. And until the next one, take care.